Today I have a piece with me that had a very recent and very successful Kickstarter launch. It's a very well-made piece with a lot of thought gone into each aspect and detail. So the watch at hand is from Tool Watch Company, the Arctic. So as you can see from the packaging, everything is on point to be in line with the name of the piece, the Arctic. So it's come with some very nice pictures of the watch. And for me, I've been very fortunate to receive this review piece, and I'm one of the first few to get my hands on this piece before it's shipped out to everyone else. More pictures of the finishing, different angles, how the packaging. I'll not go into details on the others. So just before I carry on, it will come in 3 colorway, the blue being the basic one, the signature series, the Arctic limited edition, and then the 1 of 10, which is this one. So let me get all this out of the way. So it comes in a nice packaging, a nice pouch, Tool Watch Company. Tool Watch Company Explorer, the Arctic. So just before I get into the piece, I'd just like to share that Tool Watch Company has taken into consideration things like sustainability. So they are committed to setting ethical example and standards. So this piece is inspired to help raise awareness for the needed change in our environment, the climate, obviously. So the one I have is the Arctic Explorer in blue. It has a very nice dial, and it's actually a meteorite dial. So it's a meteorite dial, and you can see the finishing was meant to be rough, almost looking like the edges of a stone, or in this case a meteorite. So it has a very matte finish, a bit of a rugged feel to it, and it's definitely not a smooth surface. To add a bit more dimension, as you can see the words Arctic painted over it. There are some parts that are not flat, but they have achieved a very nice finishing, and the words look very clear, very concise, very legible. So it comes in a titanium anti-scratch case, and just the very matte finish of the dial and the case gives it a very classy old school feel, and even the way the case shape is and the lux, the way the lux are finished creates a very old school classic design. So as being a titanium piece, it's light and it's scratch resistant. As you can see, the finish very nicely done. So let's get onto some of the details. It's finished with a sapphire AR coated glass, as you can see, and there's a bit of a curvature which extrudes out, and there's a fixed flat bezel which is nicely brushed And as we go on to the hands, applied loom markers and sticks indices running all around, one for each of the 60-minute mark, and a little bit of the stick at the point where the loom round markers are, and at the 3, 6 and 9 o'clock there are batten markers, and at the 12 o'clock a triangular loom marker. So it comes with Super Luminova BGW9 grade A. So it's definitely one of the better quality looms out there, and it's gonna create a lot of nice dimension, legibility in darkness. And just looking at the second hand with a bit of teeth coming out, almost looks like a rake or something that you would use to plow or remove snow, keeping into the theme of the Arctic. And they've gone with very classic arrow, minute hands, and angular hour hand. As you can see, the hour hand is in black and the minute hand is in blue, and the second hand has a bit of blue and white to it. So I've had this piece for some time now, and overall it's a very refined piece, and a lot of thought has gone into conceiving this piece and making it look aged. It almost looks like a vintage piece from the 80s, and with the lack of detailing on the bezel and the case just left as it is, it brings a lot of attention to the fonts and the design of the dial. So the star is actually looking at the gradient and the roughness of that meteor dial, and how smooth the words are painted on it. So it comes with a very reliable Swiss movement, Sellita SW200. Because it comes with a great movement, they have given a 2-year warranty. So there's a power reserve of 38 hours and it has 26 joules. And on the crown, a bit of knurling for more grip. And as you wind it up, just very mild and not too loud. And as you can see, the second hand moving very smoothly, continuous flow, no hacking movement. And as we pop it out to set the time, it's a robust movement, a little bit of resistance, but the right amount so that it's comfortable to adjust the time. And screw it back in. Although this is an explorer piece for seemingly adventures and the Arctic, if you're a climber, it's quintessentially a tool watch. It's the company, tool watch company. It's a piece that's a titanium anti-scratch that is meant to take some beating on day-to-day wear. So it's finished very well and rugged. And as we move on to the back, it's so nicely done. Almost feels flat, seamless, but you can tell it was 3D or laser printed onto the back with a polar bear, one of the symbols of the animals in the Arctic. I just like the detailing level of that paw and just a few key aspects. The movement, titanium, 200 meter, water resistant, sapphire crystal, and it comes with a leather strap, a 20mm Saffiano, and a tool watch inspired by lesser known adventures, which is the tagline of tool watch company, finished very immaculately. You can see the graining on the leather, on the loop, and one fixed loop, and the leather strap as well has a very vintage, old school vibe to it, which ties in very nicely to the piece. And it comes with a machined buckle, tool watch company, and a very nice feature that is in a lot of watches these days, quick release spring bars. So overall, I'm a huge fan of this piece. I like how it looks very classy, very minimalist, very muted, and it really looks like a tool watch on an adventurer. I could really see someone wearing this in harsh conditions in the Alps, in the Arctic, trekking through the deserts, taking a dive, as it's 200 meters water resistant as well. And let's see how it fits. At 38mm in a titanium case with that Saffiano leather, it wears really comfortably, really well, and just from certain angles you get to see that beauty of that meteorite dial, all that grains, all that rough finishing. So it fits really nicely. It's a piece I really like. It's not over the top, just the right amount of details, robust movement, looks so old school, so classy, and looks well thought of, very well finished, great specs. For those of you who've got one on the way, you'll definitely not regret it. So the Arctic Explorer by Tool Watch Company.